Tonight they are back. A stronger, more competitive Bulldog line. The Roos, though, still on top. From the MCG, Footscray and North Melbourne on Friday Night Football.
Hello everybody, welcome once again to Friday Night Football. Yes, for the second time this season, Footscray against North Melbourne, and it was a record-breaking win for the Kangaroos in round number 2. They're on top of the table after 9 rounds with 7 wins. They're unbeaten in Victoria, 5 out of 5 here at the MCG. For Footscray, a little bit better in round 9. They beat Adelaide, but they're still 14th on the ladder.
The AFL Centenary
Stars in the AFL. They go to the left, North Melbourne, top of the table against Footscray. Darcy jumps into him early. They both played representative football last week. Darcy made quite an impact when he came on the ground for South Australia. He took a screamer. And McKernan playing for the Big V. There's oh, gee, somebody down. Stevens getting rid of Ramiro. And that might be one of the interesting duels tonight. Ramiro did the job on him in round 2, but they didn't have a lot to laugh about that day, the Doggies. As they go forward from Johnson after the handball from Darcy to half forward. Martin, Quill's got him, gets rid of it, Mickey does, over the line, out of play, right half forward, Footscray in attack. There's Michael Martin, a couple of best and fairest of the club, now in the veteran class, still a young man in terms of age, but a lot of footy now. Front spot, at the back, Grigic, and it's going to be another bounce. Cool night. It's been a pleasant day, though not warm, but the sun's shining in Melbourne. And the national sportsbooks say North Melbourne 8-1 on and Footscray 9-2. So they are the hot favourites, North Melbourne. 9-2 in a 2-horse race is always seen as value if the team's got some ability. Here's Blakey from half-back, kicks the ball towards centre wing. Crediuk overran it. Oh, good take by King. King away and goes to half-forward. Carey direction.
Oh, great mark. Geez, we get used to that, don't we? Watching him put his body into very difficult situations and grabbing marks like that. Carey from 55 to 60 metres from goal, kicks it to the goal front. Nearly the mark taken back there for North Melbourne, but it's kicked away. Chance for Ramiro in front of Scott. North Melbourne fans perhaps not happy there. They thought the player on the full forward line may have been paid the mark. No siree. Robert Scott comes away from close to centre wing. His kick to half forward has been marked by McKernan. A look of determination on Corey McKernan's face. A long kick from 50 metres will land in the square. It bounces to the back and eventually taken through for a rush behind by Crediuk and Darren Crocker. Just a little bit of attention there for Crediuk.
The North's tall forward line's really stretching Footscray. Capuano, who's a ruckman, is actually playing on Brad Rura, who's about a foot taller, foot shorter, I should say, who normally plays on the small defenders. Bad matchup, that one.
Good kick to Wallace. Wallace to centre wing. Osborne front spot on his chest. He kicked 3 goals against Adelaide early in Footscray's win in round 9.
Playing on one of his former teammates in John Blakey.
He's had a long career, Osborne, and a pretty good one. Kick to half forward. Grigic caught underneath, then puts his big arms out and takes it. An important player for Footscray in terms of their potential to kick goals. Centering kick. Hargraves had a fair go at it, and so did Johnson in the front. Laidley gets it. Balances up, kicks the ball back into the centre square. Carey and Grant, nearly a one-hander. Freeborn carries it forward. Dimatina gets a good bounce. The shepherd by Wallace was okay. Dimatina's kick out wide. It's all right. Taken by Ramiro. Ramiro to Grant. Grant just chips away and finds Rowan Smith. Promising signs early for the Doggies.
Well, they look as though they're pretty keen, so that's a good sign. Kick towards full forward has been brilliantly marked by McKernan. Already 2 kicks early in the game. His kick across the half-back line. Blakey lost the ball, really. Quill carried it just far enough for the advantage of Osborne. Osborne's little left foot kick is all right, and Liberatore has marked. He'd be too far out to score, little Libber. What a great little battler he's been for the Bulldogs. He's kicked to full forward, and back there is McKernan. 3rd mark early in the game to arguably the Brownlow medal favourite, and he can't win it. Well, there you go. Out wide, Freeborn and Johnson. Johnson can't really, well, he's being penalised. I was about to say he couldn't keep the ball in, and he's questioning the umpire. A little bemused by that decision, but umpire Goldspeak right onto that, and Freeborn has the free kick at right half back for the Kangaroos. He's kicked towards the wing. It's a high one. Knocked away by Darcy. Chance there for Scott. Handball Carey. Carey can't get it far enough. West very skillfully gets it to Dimatina. Dimatina across the centre line. Osborne and Blakey. Osborne strong, very strong. Blakey persistent, but Osborne does well. Gets it forward for the Bulldogs. Chance for Ramiro. He gets his kick away just in front of Roberts' interception. The kick to full forward, the ball not marked. Grigic, can he play it in front of himself? The ball close to the line, and Laidley not happy with the attention from Grigic. In comes Todd Curley. The boundary umpire will throw it in right forward pocket for Footscray. Only one score on the board so far. A rush behind to North Melbourne. And Dean Laidley and Ilya Grigic having a little altercation in that forward pocket. Grigic, the ruck work, and he's going to get the free kick. Well, Ilya not too worried about that. He's going to have a shot for goal from about 25 metres out on about a 45-degree angle.
Yes, it's hard, these ruck contests. I must admit, I look at the umpire. I suppose the extra height of Grigic probably McKernan got a bit too aggressive in the body-to-body work, and probably it was a high tackle.
Well, Grigic must kick this goal. It's an emphatic kick. And it is, well, the goal umpire conferring with the field umpire. Now, why? Have to be a goal, wouldn't it, now? Well, you wonder why he consulted the field umpire. Still, a letdown there for Footscray fans, just a behind a Grigic. Well, it didn't look as though there was anything there for discussion from the goal umpire and the field umpire, but it is a behind a Footscray.
Just wonder if he asked him what he thought. Certainly wasn't touched. That was quite strange. Darcy got it from Liberatore. Punches it back in with a long one. In the front spot, Archer held it for a bit. King gets it to Laidley. Good squeezing kick by Laidley. Under pressure, kept it low, out of play. Yeah, that's quite bemusing, isn't it? I mean, it wasn't touched off the boot. It looked to be very close to over the goal post, and you wonder if the umpire just ran out and got a second opinion.
I suspect he's got to make sure that he got the all clear, and that's what the goal umpire wasn't sure of until he checked.
Grigic got a bit of it. Laidley ripped off it by Grigic. Must have a good memory, Grigic, and it'll be a bounce again. So scores are level, early days in this Friday night clash. Grigic, good start for him. McKernan's been important early. Carey took a fantastic mark, but generally Footscray has been able to keep pace with North. They were blown away in round two right from the beginning. Bloodraw and Stevens, ironically, as he did in round number two when faced with the same opposition, has to come off with a Bloodraw early. He spent a fair bit of the match on the interchange with the Bloodraw against Footscray the first time, and Peter Bell comes onto the ground with him. So that is quite a coincidence.
Quick cheerio to Mick McGuan. Bruce in hospital, and looks as though he won't play any more football this year, but good luck to you, Mick.
Yeah, from all of us, Mick. Speedy recovery, at least off the field, and see you back next year. Martin, Johnson goes forward, Libra, Ramiro pushes it forward to the pocket. Archer, gee, that was good play by Archer. It finally got to Bell from Freeborn. Simpson, Rock quite clever in the end. Credioc's handball. Darcy, back to Dimatina. Pressure towards the boundary line. McKernan's given the free kick away. The advantage was given, but because they lost the advantage, it's going to come back. And Credioc's got it at centre wing.
He's another important player for Footscray too, Stephen Credioc. Does a pretty good job minding a tall forward. That high kick hasn't got all that much penetration, and it's quite well marked by Mickey Martin at right half back for the Kangaroos. A short kick, a little too short, but Bell's able to gather the football close to the boundary line. He kicks it 45 metres down towards his team's goal, and the fourth mark to Corey McKernan. Great player, hooks the kick in towards centre half forward. The ball comes to the back. Bulldogs defence under pressure. Steve Wallace dragged down by Roberts. And Mark Roberts justifiably looks at the umpire. No free kick. Steve Wallace, did he have a chance of getting rid of it? Did he hang on to it too long? Well, we won't know. Chance now for Simpson. Snapshot for goal. To the goal front. Crocker. Taken away now. Wirra gets it to Southern. Southern's kick. Wallace close to the line. Able to keep it in. Very well done by Steve Wallace. Blakey and Osborne. Still Osborne fights hard. That's a good indication of the spirit of the Bulldog. And the ball forced over for a boundary throw-in. Blakey and Osborne. And just Richard Osborne's little right touch important in that passage of play.
Crediuk front spot, then punches it out of Quill's hands. Liberatore, Osborne, and again out of play. It's boundary throw-in between centre wing and left half forward for North Melbourne. Richard Osborne, the 31-year-old, and Liver, the Brownlow medalist, and the best and fairest at his club in the following year. What a great little goer he's been. Roberts won the toss. Quill cut it off. Ramiro, not really a kick. Under pressure, Crediuk. Scott, and again it's going to be a bounce. So Footscray holding this North Melbourne free-flowing team early as we look at the North interchange with Stuart Anderson. Wayne Schwass is there just chatting away. He would be tight in the tummy tonight, just desperate to get out there. Hasn't played more than a couple of minutes of footy. That's a fantastic handball by Ramiro. Brilliant play. Kick by Dimartine. Laidley. Curley over the top. Off the ground by Martin. Libber got a handle on it now. Kicks the ball to centre half forward. Not a good kick. Good mark by King, who takes it on his chest in the end, going the wrong way. Chips out in the Carey direction. Grant should take it. He does. Could have gone on.
It could be a terrific battle, couldn't it, if those two players stay on each other for the night. The kick by Grant. Osborne's a chance. Tries to crash his way through. He's caught. Should be penalised and is. Well done, John Blakey. Runs away with the football from centre-half back and kicks to centre-half forward. What a rebound this will be for North Melbourne. It's not going to work, though. Dimartine, Grant, now Luke Darcy. A State of Origin player last week. Anthony Rock, but an umpire has picked a free kick out of the marking contest. Maybe a little high. And Footscray will take the free kick. Osborne looks hurt. That's a bit of a bad blow for the Bulldogs. The kick by West goes wide. Darcy on his left foot. Brilliant pass. Magnificent kick. Watts is on the end of it. 45 metres from goal. I think we've seen Richard Osborne with a bit of a wraparound on his arm at some stage during his career, and he's holding his right arm. Let's hope it's not too serious. Doesn't look too good, does it? Watts will kick for goal. The player on the mark is about 45 metres out, so he'll need a 50-metre plus kick to score. Gets it close, right to the line, nearly taken by Roberts, picked off by Laidley, back to Roberts, good running support provided by Roberts. His kick goes back towards the centre, no one home. Straight to Darcy. Darcy kicks into the pocket, and the mark is taken out there by Hargraves. Hargraves quickly on. A wobbly punt kick towards full forward. Griggage beaten for it by Martin. The man in front, well done.
Awkward kick coming in from Hargraves. Darcy starting well for Footscray. Roberts gets it from Laidley. Rock at half back. Still not a goal scored, and we've been playing over 13 minutes of football. Fairley to half forward. Carey sport by Crediuk. Now Scott West. Osborne off the ground for Footscray, and Colin took his place. And Anthony Stevens looks like he's ready to come back on for North Melbourne. Here's the Osborne incident. Blakey, hard tackle. Oh, just a bit awkward probably the way Osborne fell on it. So Dipper will give us a report at some stage. Liberatore to centre wing. Colin worked underneath the ball. Has a second go. He should be hungry tonight. He wouldn't have known that he was playing until very late. Liberatore back to Quill, who normally gets a lot of possessions. Reasonable kick to get it inside, and good mark in the front with the pressure coming from Laidley by Curley. Still a fair way out. Back to Quill. Runs out of room. Bad option. Back to Curley. Gives it off now to Collinuk. Can balance up and do something. Very wide and gets to Hargraves. So not a lot gained there by Footscray. Quill in a bit of trouble. As Hargraves goes to the pocket, they're having trouble, Footscray, when they get the ball the half forward to go any further. And Quill in the hands of three trainers, staggering, and he does look in a fair bit of strife. Or is that Curley?
Quill.
Yeah, it is Quill. The incident we showed a moment ago was Todd Curley going to ground. Liberatore out wide. Again, they try to go forward. Grigic tries to paddle forward. Collinuk with a chance.
Nearly deemed as a throw, couldn't it? Collinuk gets it across. Rowan Smith in all sorts of strife. Kicks it to the front of the square. Kicked off the ground. Out wide. Chance for Ramiro on his left foot. Can't really get the distance he was looking for. Hargraves, three North Melbourne players up. The ball hits the ground and Dean Laidley has it underneath there. Archer just letting Ilya Grigic know what's going on. Peter Quill, obviously a whack to the just above the left eye, or just to the side of the left eye, and going to the change rooms for medical attention. Play goes on. The bounce of the ball. Grigic throws his left foot at it across the face of goal. Awkward bounce for Fairley, but he got an important touch. Brought it to ground in front of himself. Gathers and kicks towards half-back. Chance for Alice. Can he get clear? Yes, he can. Gets it to Dimatina. Good vision by Dimatina. Rowan Smith. Run in and kick a goal, Rowan Smith. Bang he goes and gets the first goal of the game. What a great goal to the Bulldogs. They lead by 6 points.
Wayne Schwass has come on the ground for North Melbourne. Got a mighty cheer as Smith's goal puts Footscray in front. Liberatore out of the centre. Wobbles it to half forward. Fairly in the front spot on Hargraves and takes the mark. Schwass has gone to half forward with Dimatina picking him up. There he is, the number 2. Stevens also back on the ground for North. Got away from Libba too easily. An awkward type of bounce and then delivers to half forward impressively. Scholl on the lead. He kicked a bag of goals earlier in the year. Scholl against Footscray. Darcy running it back, and it's through for a behind. Yeah, Scholl got 4 goals. There's Osborne, who's going to the rooms, as did Quill. So 2 Footscray players, you can see him strapped up. 2 Footscray players down in the dugout now, or not in the dugout, but in the change rooms, and being treated. And Osborne looks no chance to come back, and we're not sure about Quill. Johnson got a good bounce.
And he doesn't mind running. Can't quite outrun his opposition there. Good chase, terrific chase, provided by, is it Freeborn? Well done.
I think, Bruce, last time, in 7 or 8 weeks ago, Footscray just looked too slow in the big man department. Scott Wine, of course, is unavailable, but I think Luke Darcy, who's taken the ruck position, is doing very well. He's providing that extra mobility around the ground, which is helping them at the moment.
Alan Joyce, premiership coach at Hawthorn, in charge of the Bulldogs. Kicked it clear there by Stevens. Back towards the centre. Schwass. Was he able to take the mark? He was. It's been paid. Close to the ground. He plays on quickly. Kicks it to a vacant wing area, and the ball bouncing end on end away from King, but it eventually favoured that player. Able to run, gather, kick towards left half forward. Well done. Terrific kick, because it really was to the advantage of Carey there. And he's close to the line. He plays on. Kicks to the front of the square. Crocker getting back, knocked away by Southern. Footscray defence under pressure. Dimatina tries to hack it out of there. Darcy looking for the free kick against Rock. The umpire having nothing if that will bounce 35 metres out from the North Melbourne goal. And with 6 minutes left, we have a look there at Footscray's handballs. Certainly outnumbering North Melbourne at this stage of the game. Darcy, we've spoken about him. Rock gets his right foot to it. Kicks it back towards the goal line, but it's taken by Krediuk. He looks to play on. He kicks wide and very handsomely to Wallace.
He goes to centre wing. Front spot, Curley. Good mark. Field kicking all important for Footscray tonight. Got to be accurate. Hargraves a target. Fairley waits to come at him. Hargraves toe pokes it. King's got it. Didn't quite take it though. Smith, who's kicked the only goal, will get a free kick. It'll come back. Rowan Smith. He's got Collinuk running. He's got him now. Collinuk may go on. Should. Chips away to the pocket to Grigic. Oh, well played, Martin. Colin playing short as he often does. It's Mickey Martin getting the big fist out.
Why didn't he have a crack at the goal?
It's Dennis Pagan looking on. It's about 45 metres out, not far. But he does often play short, Colin, more often now than he used to. Just seems to be in the habit. Grigic snared there by Dimatina. Didn't get far. Stevens held up another
Couple of
bounce.
interesting ring of roses in that midfield situation. Scott is actually tagging up on Ramiro, and North are trying very hard to get Stevens onto Liberatore, and Libba's trying to pick up at the moment Scholl just to try and break the tag. A lot of cat and mouse going on there.
Interestingly, the camera right onto that too, which was terrific stuff. Trying to knock it there for Colin, but it's King. King's kick back towards half forward. Well done by Hargraves, not able to take the mark. Not clear by Simpson. Then Roberts, kick to a wing area where Schwass and Wirra. Schwass knocks it forward. The race on now. Wallace just a little stronger with his body work. Well done. Gets the ball over the top. Back to Johnson. Back to Wirra. Then Wallace. Wallace's little kick. A bit of an up and under. But on the end of it is Dimatina. Dimatina just added a bit of flavour to the Footscray side. Gee, that kick. Oh, you won't like that ball. It's gone straight into the hands of Crocker. Crocker, well, he must have thought that was a North Melbourne player peeling off to the right, but because he's kicked it straight to Steve Wallace. Stephen Wallace's kick will be marked by Crediuk. Oh, down comes Crocker, and you wonder whether that was necessary. I'd be having a chat to the other bloke, Darren. Crediuk with the football in the right back pocket.
Good umpiring though in the end, Robert, not to take it off. It was
fair enough.
It was a good call. Crediuk's kick. Ellis just runs into Robert Scott and prevented him going for the ball, and Danny Southern's got it at half-back. Here's little one to Ellis. Goes on now. Hargraves the target. Good stretch, fine mark. He's giving them a little bit up forward. Saw him kick late goals against Essendon when it was a lost cause a few weeks back. Watts uses the body cleverly, but Archer runs across him strongly. Roberts confidently charges away. He was pretty good last week. Kicks the ball out wide. Lovely kick to Freeborn. Johnson on him. Now running is Mickey. They're going to love this if he gets it to him. No. Bad kick. Looking for Bell. Martin was a better option in the end. Inside, and Footscray's kick. So North without a goal after 22 minutes of footy.
It's not going for them at this point. Things just aren't quite falling for the Kangaroos.
And Archer in a bit of strife behind play, being attended to by two of the trainers. May have been a little winded in a clash a little earlier. Short kick has been marked by Crediuk. Now he's done some very strong running from the full back line to have the football about 65 metres from goal. His kick goes in towards half forward. McKernan up high. Maybe paid the mark and landed heavily. May have taken a bit of the stuffing out of Corey McKernan, but a clean mark. Ilya Grigic arriving a little late on the scene.
I think that's what we term a late spoil. And ineffective at that.
So McKernan, well, he did have the kick, but he can't take it, so Blakey does. And Blakey's kick has got terrific penetration. The ball rebounds back towards the centre of the ground. Darcy did well, kept the ball there for West. West really not all that positive. Went wide. Johnson has possession of the football, looks to get around, then kicks it back into the centre where it came from, and Darcy is marked. Darcy's kick across that centre line, and that slews off the side of his boot. Not the desired result. Straight to King. King again, straight to Ellis. Ellis couldn't take the mark. In goes Schwass. Very tidy possession. Gets it to Carey. Carey's kick towards full forward. North Melbourne mark taken by Crocker. As McKernan leaves the ground, Crocker has the football and will shoot for goal.
I think we've got very treacherous conditions here tonight. I mean, it's a very cold night, and I think there's a fair bit of moisture on the grass, and already you can see players losing their footing quite regularly, and Southern, in fact, lost his footing, which enabled Crocker to mark the ball easily.
Kicks from 35 metres, just coming away at the end and misses. So North up to 3 points. Footscray 1-1. He's done well, Crocker, this season. Only played 4 games, going in and kicked 11 as McKernan. So a number of players have left the arena tonight with an injury or being winded or the blood rule. We've had Stevens and McKernan. Osborne and Quill, the two serious ones for Footscray. And not a goal for North Melbourne. They kicked 6 points in the opening term against West Coast earlier this season in one of their 2 losses, and failed to goal in the last quarter against Brisbane in their other loss. They're the only 2 occasions they haven't kicked a goal in a quarter. They've been prolific in so many matches this year. Well, a couple of short passes have managed to get the ball about 25 metres from the goal for Footscray. Weir's kick, that's the long one. Oh, good grab over the top. Taken by Capuano. About 80 metres from goal. Centres the ball. Carey the target. Grant at the back. Wallace, well done. Comes away. Stevens from 45 metres. A high ball. It's going to be difficult to mark. Carey's normally good. Goes and it couldn't quite. In fact, Southern has come up with it and taken a beauty. Kicks to Wallace. They are spirited early, the Dogs. Wallace at half-back. Kicks to centre wing. Koliniuk stands his ground. King at the back. Koliniuk's going to have to try and hold it there against the odds. Well played to Dimartina. Dimartina's wobbly old ball. It beats the lot. Clean bowls them. And the Kangaroos haven't kicked a goal in the opening term. It's a long bout, I know, but the points are with Footscray early. It's 1-1 to 3 points lead.
Well, I mean, really, sometimes when you come to the football thinking one side's just so far superior, maybe North Melbourne subconsciously, if not consciously, had that in the back of their minds too. But the Footscray, they've learned from the first game a lot better in the defensive areas. They've got an interesting setup going on down there. Chris Grant picks up Carey, but if McKernan's a permanent forward, Grant goes on to McKernan and Credit picks up Carey. They've thought about their forward matchups. They're doing well around the midfield. So really, it's not much of a lead, but certainly they're right in the game, Footscray.
And a bit of feeling we saw as they went to the huddle there, as Dennis Pagan comes out to address his men, and Alan Joyce a lot happier at quarter time this time than the last time they played. It was 7-0 or 7-1 or something like that. They were out of it. Not tonight. They're very much in it. At quarter time, it's Footscray 1-1, North Melbourne 3 behinds. Back to the Melbourne Cricket Ground. Footscray 1-1, North Melbourne 3 behinds. Let's go down and join Dipper on the boundary line, because Dipper, it was a busy opening term.
It certainly was, and all belonged to Footscray, I thought then. But on the boundary line down here, we've had a few injuries, as you mentioned, throughout the game. Unfortunately for Footscray fans, and Richard Osborne, he has a broken arm. It's funny we see Swass come after 10 weeks missing a broken arm. So we wish Aussie the best of luck there. And of course, McKernan, I'm just looking on the boundary now. He's still on the bench. He's a little bit shaken after that hard knock, so we might see him halfway in this quarter come on the ground. And Quill receives some stitches, Bruce.
Thanks, Dipper. So plenty to report from the boundary line. Now the Mitre 10 contenders tonight. Here they come. We'll be giving you the winner later in the evening. Great prize from Mitre 10 out of 10. Some good ones tonight. Let's start the second term. Friday night football at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. Smallish crowd, but they've seen a contest early with Footscray surprisingly in front of North Melbourne at quarter time. Capuano in the ruck. McKernan still on the interchange, as Dipper said. Darcy, good touch to Ramiro. Goes long towards full forward. A big fly from Grigich. Archer pushed forward hard. Lady bounced off Archer, his teammate, and came away. Left-hand handball okay. Archer, who was fantastic last week, as he's been all year when he came on for the Vicks, kicks the ball to centre wing. Punch away there from Capuano. Back to Darcy from Dimartina. Darcy's right foot this time. Good deliver. Liver runs away. 60 metres from goal. Goes towards the pocket. Grigich, good take. He is a giant of a man, and he got those big mitts up and they stuck. And Robbo writing down, Lee Robbo just writing down on his black book with a couple of winners for tomorrow. Important for Grigich. It was a good grab, wasn't it, Lee?
It was. Just saying, with his height and playing forward pocket, he has to take half a dozen of those a game. Otherwise, really, his lack of mobility becomes a problem.
Needs to kick the goal. Tight angle from the pocket. And the umpire made a lot of ground and misses. A controversial miss in the opening term. There's Mark Roberts speaking to Dennis Pagan on the interchange. So Grigich has had 2 sets shots for goal within 40 metres and missed them both. 1-2 to 3 points.
Yeah, disappointing end for Ilya Grigich with his goal kicking anyway. The kick in has been marked by Freeborn. Freeborn is at right half back. He gets underneath the kick. It'll land on centre wing. Member side, terrific leap and mark on his chest. Strength and agility by Carey. Carey's kick to the 50-metre line. Again, the marking contest. Liberatore gets rid of Simpson. Handball over the top. Darcy tries to tap it to the advantage. Ellis gathers, but he's tackled, gang tackled by Anderson, who's on the ground now for North Melbourne, and Simpson.
He's got it. North on the board.
Well, that's just what does sap your morale. Footscray have just been doing so well, trying so hard, and then this unforced error and basically a bad disposal option that eventually the mistake is paid the ultimate price and North Melbourne score the goal. And just a terrible blow to Footscray's morale, and great fillip for North to finally get that first goal on the board.
Gee, you wonder what goes through a player's mind, don't you? There was really not all that much advantage, even if the Footscray player had got onto the end of Ellis's kick. Forced forward by Freeborn to centre-half forward. Strength again. He is a mighty skillful player with a lot of strength, Wayne Carey. He'll kick from 55 metres. It'll land in the square. Crocker in front. Taken by Schwass. Snapshot by Wayne Schwass is a behind. And don't mind that spirit. Teammates, what, a couple of years ago, wasn't it? On the Footscray bench, Wirra and Nigel Kellett.
Feelings can be very misleading, but I sense that incident may well have just changed this game at this very point. Even in the 30 seconds since, things look a bit different.
Southern's kick in is to Dimatina. He's right up against the behind post, Paul Dimatina. So you would wonder whether there's much advantage. He's going to kick to a 50-50 situation. Footscray will get clear. Steve Wallace, gee whiz, that was an awkward looking hand pass, wasn't it? Rock, handball over the top. Chance for Liberatore, tackle. West gets some space. Hand pass to no one. Bell picks it off. Anthony Rock's kick to half forward. Getting back Grant, couldn't take it. The ball spills. Capuano, look for Carey. In goes Darcy. Shepherd provided there by Grant for Ellis. Now Dimatina again. Dimatina's 11th kick is effective. Finds Johnson. Johnson to centre half back. No one home. Denelchenko and Liberatore. Denelchenko left it behind. Libert provided some good pressure. Away goes Rowan Smith. He can kick the ball well. He must bounce, and he did. The umpire had the whistle in his mouth. Hand pass. Goes to Fairley. Fairley's little kick. Awkward bounce. Gathered nicely by Stevens. Around onto his left foot. Kick into the middle of the ground. It covers the players there. Capuano gets it to Anderson. Anderson's kick to full forward. The contest back there. Crocker punched away by Southern. The ball spills to the front. Ellis shepherds for Grant. Grant nearly went for the hand pass. Then elects to kick towards the half-back area. No mark taken by Johnson. Freeborn. In goes Johnson again. He can't get clear. Rock is there to provide the tackle, and the umpire will bounce 55 metres from the North Melbourne goal. Some terrific pressure being applied by both sides. 1-5 plays 1-2. About halfway through the second term. So it really is an arm wrestle. Bell onto his left foot, not bad. Across to half forward where Denelchenko was marked. Ken kicked the ball a long distance. So Jason Denelchenko, the opportunity for North Melbourne's second goal. Stuart Anderson kicked there first. The goal kicker for Footscray is Rowan Smith. Gee, it's a good kick by Denelchenko. It is a mighty kick. Well done. Goal. Second goal to North Melbourne with 14 minutes left in the second term. They lead by 9 points.
Yes, it's amazing. The longer it takes to score your first goal in football, the more the pressure builds. And when that error before by Footscray enabled North to kick their first goal, you can imagine, you could see the lift in the north side, and good long goal by Denelchenko then.
2-5 to 1-2. Slick handball by West out of the centre to Darcy. So North lead now by 9 points. Goals to Anderson and that long one by Denelchenko. Laidley wide, gets to Stevens at centre wing, chips away. North starting to find form. Schwass has it. Can kick the ball a long way. That's a floater and a wobbler. Wallace front spot. He's done pretty well. One mistake early with the hands, but he's had a fair bit of it. He's kicking to the centre. Darcy, impressive. Goes on now. forced to hurry. Hargraves front spot. Didn't fall over, good effort, still with it, Hargraves, well done, on the left towards full forward, Watts works his man underneath, Grigic, handball off, Koliniuk, surely a goal, goes for it, it's close, it's got it, they needed it, it was the important one, Lee, they had to get the next one after North got those two.
Well, I think again we see Luke Darcy playing in the ruck, who is a mobile ruckman, and the difference between being an extra ground level player, he set up the disposal that came forward, and then Grigic was able to ease Martin under the ball, and Koliniuk was the opportunist to score the goal, which was important for Footscray because the last 5 minutes has been right against them.
Well, you spoke about Darcy. He's had 8 kicks and 2 hand passes. Footscray trailing by 3 points. Liberatore kicks it out of the congested centre. It could have been nearly a free kick to Koliniuk. I think it's going to be paid. North Melbourne were about to run away with the ball, but the free kick will go to Steve Koliniuk. He can move it on quickly. Look at this. Johnson will go in and kick Footscray's 3rd goal. Bulldogs are in front. Brad Johnson kicks his 1st goal. Footscray get their 3rd. They lead by 3 points.
Well, you can see the spirit in the Footscray team when they came out onto the field, just the way they played that 1st quarter. And it's amazing, North just kicked a couple of goals, all of a sudden looked like they were getting control of the game, but that spirit that started the game was able to survive that mishap and just keep at it.
(3-2 to 2-5). Koliniuk involved in the last couple of goals. Scott had it taken off him. Footscray forced it forward. Koliniuk bravely in again. So he's making his mark on this game. The man who replaced Scott Ryan tonight. Goes wide, good-looking kick, gets Hargraves. Footscray free of their shackles suddenly. Playing with some flair. 5 marks to Hargraves. Now he's right at his distance, you'd think. Would take a terrific kick. He's been kicking goals of late. He got 3 against Adelaide and 4 against Essendon, so he's got 7 in these last 2 matches. That's a good return for your number 2 forward. Kick just outside 50. He's timed it well. It's a great kick. It's a beauty. They kicked 3 goals in about 3 minutes. They wouldn't have done that too often this season. 4-2 to 2-5.
Certainly was a magnificent kick by young Daniel Hargraves to get Footscray's 4th goal. Grigic gets the ball away from the centre. Kicked away by Dean Laidley. High towards half forward. Getting back and marking safely is Johnson. He runs on. Kicks across the centre. It's a good kick too. He's found Dimatina. Dimatina towards half forward. That's not bad either. Hargraves has got it in nearly the identical position from where he kicked the last goal. So it'd have to be a chance. You'd say he'd kick the distance. Dennis Pagan and Mark Dawson at the back. This is Hargraves. Such a magnificent kick, the previous shot for goal. He's running close to the man on the mark. And he's hooked the kick a little bit to the goal front. No mark. Archer brilliantly smothered off the boot by Rowan Smith. And if that's not an indication of Footscray's spirit, you wonder what is.
Yes, all the indicators are there. There's no doubt about that, Robbo. They're hard at this game. And I think Hargraves' mobility is troubling fairly. I think North, Dennis Pagan will be thinking about maybe a switch in that defensive matchup.
Throw in the right forward pocket for the Bulldogs. Darcy takes it out of the air. King kicks it away for North Melbourne. Back towards centre wing. Quill and Schwass. Free kick to Schwass. Quill just being caught, hanging on there. And you can see that graze on Peter Quill's left, close to his left cheekbone, left temple area. And that forced him off the ground through the blood rule earlier in this match. Taken by Scott. Scott runs around and kicks towards the middle of the ground. Punched away. Liberatore gets the hand pass. Ellis. Steve Wallace. That's a better one, Steve. Finds Krediuk. Krediuk's kick is not bad. Hargraves. He's got it again. Runs on. Couldn't quite take the ball away. Martin. gets the ball to Blakey. North Melbourne defence under pressure, but they stand up. King's kick into the middle of the ground. Rock gets it away. This is Robert Scott. His kick in towards the forward pocket area. Away goes Chris Grant, close to the line. Doesn't quite get an effective left kick to it. Carey kicks it to his advantage. Rock does well. Stevens. Now Anderson. Can he kick his second goal? Anderson, snapshot across his left shoulder. Nearly taken by Danilchenko, but away goes Danny Southern to Quill.
Touches it on the ground once. Southern providing the shepherd. Quill goes for distance. The target is Curley with him Laidley again. Simpson just pushes it to Laidley. Terrific tackle by West and a boundary throw in.
Listen, Laidley got a great ability to time the defensive spoil when he's got caught behind.
It's Alan Joyce, the Footscray coach. He must be pleased with what he's seeing there. The centre breaks, Footscray on top. Stevens. West. Liberatore. It's been fantastic in this first half. Smith and at the back it just fell into King's lap. Be careful, Colin. King at just backward of centre wing. Normally a long kick. Punches it to centre half forward. Danilchenko. Carey roving. Can't break the Liberatore tackle. Gets it back to Freeborn. Freeborn's kick will be in behind. And North go to 2-6 to 4-2. Chris Grant and Wayne Carey. Libber involved as well.
It's amazing. We've thought Footscray have probably been pretty good for most of the game, but in fact North have had 8 scoring shots to Footscray's 6, so maybe we're getting a little bit carried away.
16 possessions for Libber as Southern goes along.
Kicks out in the area where Darcy, knocked on by Quill. West and Krediuk, back to West. Handball, gathered beautifully there by Curley, but it breaks down. Just a couple of possessions too many maybe. Ellis, but through goes Stevens, steaming down the ground, and he passes safely to Rock, who is 40 metres out on a very slight angle. 4-2 Footscray, 2-6 North Melbourne. So Anthony Rock, the chance to get North Melbourne's third goal on the scoreboard. And I don't think anyone would have predicted this. 7 minutes before half-time, North Melbourne have a score that reads 2-6-18, Footscray 4-2-26, and still Libber. He is a little pest, isn't he, having a go at the North Melbourne captain. Ramiro, down he goes. Anderson picked him off. Ellis runs Anderson down. Well done. The ball may finish with a Footscray player. No, it doesn't. Carey just robs them and kicks it behind. Gee, it was a good bump, wasn't it, by Anderson?
They've missed a few North, but of course the pressure is one of the things that happens. Footscray are bringing the contest to North Melbourne, so when the North players are having shots at goal, they're just that little bit tense, and the inaccuracy is flowing from that.
West off the ground. There's Darcy in a bit of strife. West off the ground for Footscray. Kelladon. Wallace has got it from Southern. It's 2-7 to 4-2. Footscray lead North Melbourne. Top team on the ladder, North. 14th. Here's Darcy. Now that's a huge blow. He has been fantastic tonight. Centre wing, Curley trying to get rid of a couple. Tackle from Laidley and then Libber. So Darcy comes from the ground to be replaced by Brad Wirra.
Got a feeling he came down awkwardly in that marking contest before Darcy.
Bounce up, Kellen in there. Push forward by Quill. Taken by Johnson. Griggage worked underneath it by Martin a bit too easily that time, and Mickey takes it, gives it off to King. This is his trademark, running out of defence, kicking to the centre. Important ball here. Johnson has to get a better kick than that away. Terrific tackling by North, as they often do. Freeborn with a chance to balance and deliver. Roberts could go on. He's a fabulous long kick on the run. 50 metres out. It's coming back. It's a chance. A push out against Carey, surely. Chris Grant's free kick. Dipper, what's the situation down there, mate?
At the moment, he's got a very bad twisted ankle at the moment, so they're looking at that.
That's Luke Darcy, is it, mate?
That's right.
Okay, twisted ankle for Darcy.
Gee, there's a few down there that he could report on, isn't there?
It's amazing.
There's some interchanges in this first half.
And
Darcy
key
off
players too, Robbo.
I was saying Darcy off and McKernan on. It's a fair plus and minus, isn't it?
Well, nearly snatched out of the air there by Adam Simpson. And just looks a little disappointed as we have another look there on the interchange bench of Luke Darcy, and obviously landed very awkwardly there from that contest with Southern. The attempted mark on the North Melbourne half-back line, but still the play goes on. Umpire Gold Spink has called for a bounce. Darcy still being attended to by the training staff, the Footscray training staff on the boundary line. Ankle problems, we've determined. Bounce of the ball, 55 metres from North Melbourne's goal. Kick forward by Rock. An effective kick as well to the goal front. Taken away by Krediuk. He's in trouble. McKernan's tackle. Danilchenko. Chance for Anthony Stevens. Snapshot for goal. Oh, it's hit the post. So a bit of bad luck there for North Melbourne. Only centimetres in that kick from Stevens. 2-8 to 4-2. Margin 6 points in favour of Footscray. So plenty of ice being applied to Luke Darcy's right ankle as Danny Southern kicks in and finds Chris Grant.
Looking about, no options at the moment. Maybe forced to go for distance, and does. Kicks at about 50 metres, and then bang back by Simpson. Johnson hard at it. Freeborn, ball out of play. Boundary throw-in. 4-2 to 2-8. So Darcy off the ground. Osborne with a broken arm, out of business for Footscray. Here's Johnson and Freeborn. Johnson, the only teenager out there tonight. Pushed forward by Grigic. He's going to have to really play a big game now with Darcy seemingly out of it. Liberatore's tackle was good. Gave Freeborn no chance. And it's going to be a bounce. So goal the difference. Footscray lead. The last time they played in round 2, North Melbourne won by 131 points. Scholl coming on for Crocker.
There's the umpire to bounce just forward of centre wing for North Melbourne, and some rubbish going on just off the ball there between Ramiro and Robert Scott. Umpire having nothing to do with that. Not clear by McKernan. He's going to get a free kick against Grigic. The advantage is with North Melbourne. Anthony Stevens shot for goal, and it is marked by Carey. Fairly simple and straightforward passage of play in the finish for North Melbourne, and it should result in the Kangaroos' 3rd goal for the game.
So I think before the ball even got there, the advantage rule, I think, caught Krediuk out of position. He was a long way in front of Carey.
So Carey's shot for goal is successful. North get their 3rd. Carey, have another look at this.
Yeah, again, the advantage rule. I don't really like the advantage rule, I must say. I think it's just too much of an advantage to the offensive side, and North have got the goal. But really, the big change in the game, I think, may have come with Luke Darcy being lost. His mobility.
5-3, 5-11 at half-time. McKernan and Darcy, a couple of the injured, back on the ground and go at each other hard, and McKernan makes a point and thumps it to Roberts, who gives it to Scott, who kicks it forward to Freeborn, to Simpson, who quite lazily puts it on his boot, and Squash will take it. No, he does not. They all fall over. Anderson tries off the ground. Grant, well done, and concedes a behind. And Michael Sheehan, if you're watching, that's definitely not 3 points after that courage to get in there and punch it through for a point. 5-3 to 5-12. And Mickey's always watching on a Friday night. I better get my night right. Krediuk, Ramiro hasn't had an impact. And that's poor. Straight to Roberts, who centres it. Like Stevens, just a fabulous player and going well tonight. At centre half forward, Danilchenko not quite. Ellis tries to get it away. Diamantina pushes forward. Johnson quickly onto the boot, into the centre. King versus Koloniuk. Smith missed it. Now Ramiro, good effort to push the ball about 40 metres forward. Laidley rode it beautifully. Comes away at centre-half back with a bounce. Swings it to Roberts. Roberts can balance with a handball that's very accurate to Stevens. Back to Laidley. In the heart of the centre square. Goes in the direction of Carey. Punch away from Ellis. Then a bit of a kick. Scott's kick was smothered. Taken by Dimatina. Dimatina with a bounce and comes away with a second bounce.
Well, he could set it up here, Paul Dimatina, with a good kick. Left foot down towards the wing. No mark. Ramiro, and a free kick has been paid. Just a little bit of interference in the marking contest, and in a bit of strife there is Todd Curley. Play goes on. Rocker's on the end of it. He's kicked towards centre-half forward. Nearly marked by Grant. A contest. Grant in there again. Gets the hand pass away to Darcy. Grab, but he was able to get it away. Dimatina again. He's slung as he kicks. Now, is the kick to be taken from where the ball was kicked from or where it landed? It will come back to Paul Dimatina at left half back.
The umpires played a high tackle rather than a free kick down the field, and that's why the ball has come back.
So a player on his own at centre-half back is Steve Krediuk. He's looking for players to peel off further down the ground. He kicks wide towards the wing, beautifully punched away. Knocked forward there by Simpson. Now Wallace. That little kick is not bad. Nearly picked up there by Hargraves. Unsuccessful. Simpson again. Important little touch. Stevens, sweeping hand pass, in trouble Schwass. He's able to get past Wira. Geez, he's terrific on his feet, isn't he, Wayne Schwass? And the little kick finds Roberts closer to the centre of the ground. He goes short. It's Simpson. Simpson's kick in towards full forward. At the back, Danny Southern. Danilchenko, stand up, and Danilchenko does, and kicks a goal. 3 goals to Jason Danilchenko, and he's proving a handy foil on that half-forward line, full-forward line for North Melbourne. He's kicked through.
And I think, as we see, there's many different forward structures in the North Melbourne side. They've started off with Danilchenko and Wayne Schwass playing as their full-forward line. As you said, Danilchenko kicked his 3rd goal. Important goal to get North going in this 3rd quarter.
6-12, 5-3. It was 3-8 to 5-3 at one stage. Chris Grant coming off the ground with a blood rule. So North has kicked 3-4 without reply. They've had the last 7 scoring shots.
This hasn't really gone for Footscray this last little bit of the game, and getting their centre-half back off with the blood rule for a few minutes doesn't help. First goal of the 3rd quarter is always critical. If the side leading as North gets the goal, all of a sudden they're 3 goals clear. And it's really important in the context of the game, that first goal, and North of the team that have got it.
Peter Quill on the ground to pick up Stuart Anderson. So hopefully Grant won't be off for a long time. 5-3, 6-12. Danilchenko, the only multiple goal scorer out there. Liberatore tries to get through, held up by Scott. Curley, not bad. Kick on the boot. Hargraves gives away a free kick to Ian Fairley. At centre-half back, they've had a good duel. Hargraves provided Footscray with quite a bit in the first half. Fairley, high ball to centre wing. Stevens and Kolonyuk, well read by Anderson. Kicks towards Carey. Ellis with him. Back to Quill, in trouble. Ran it to the boundary line. And it'll be a boundary throw-in. So the Doggies needing a goal. Against the flow here. Plucky early, but North on top now.
So the boundary throw in, left half forward for North Melbourne. Oh, brilliant roving by Simpson. A snapshot is accurate, but hasn't quite got the distance. Punched away, hits the behind post. A boundary throw in will take place, left forward pocket for the Kangaroos. Footscray just hanging on at this stage. They trail by 15 points. We're early in the 3rd quarter. Still Chris Grant on the interchange bench. McKernan takes it out of the air. Krediuk a chance. Not clear there by Carey. And another possession, you can nearly classify that as by Wayne Carey. Chris Grant, that little nick in his left eyebrow there. But Carey, importantly, getting his hand to it, keeping it in North Melbourne's forward area. Ellis taken to the ground. Carey there. Danilchenko. The ball will be bounced about 35 metres from the North Melbourne goal. Steve Krediuk. Bulldogs, all single goal scorers. North Melbourne, 3 goals to Jason Danilchenko. McKernan up high. Liberatore. Scotty West, he's been a little quiet. Taken away by Darcy. Darcy's bomb goes out towards the wing. Oh, terrific leap. Nearly the mark taken by King. Taken away there by Roberts. It wasn't King, it was Fairley. And Roberts is down. Very crude tackle. Looks as though it's against Hargraves, and it'll go to Roberts.
I think that was a calculated guess by the umpire. I was watching the umpire. It was when Roberts held his face, he paid the free kick, but probably a fair assumption on what happened.
Fairley's kicked us in a half forward through Carey's fingers. Wallace to mop up and kicks the ball high and not too far. Good mark, Darcy. Hard not to be impressed with his effort tonight. He looked to have quite a serious ankle injury in the second term. He's absolutely vital if Footscray are to have any chance this evening. Wirra under pressure. Roberts did it beautifully. Was recovered quickly after that incident a moment ago. West kicks the ball to half forward. Martin and Grigich. Martin comfortably pushes it to the line. And no worries there, Mickey.
Just thinking, Bruce, I mean, we saw Luke Darcy limp off at half-time and come back and look pretty good in the third quarter. He must be doped up with painkillers in his ankles, I would think.
Chris Grant back on. Let's hope he can keep going, Darcy. Is Grigich and Roberts. Grigich just won it through Shoal. Dimartina tried to. Liberatore all over the top. And again a bounce. So Footscray has been able to keep North in check. That's one thing. North doing the scoring as we look at the bench with Capuano, Bell and Crocker. But Footscray have been able to hold them down to a small score, which does give them a hope if they can get a couple of goals in succession. It brings them right back. Well played, Swass. Out of that congestion. Kicks the ball to centre wing. Chris Grant read it a little better than Wayne Carey that time. On the left boot. Now this is an important ball in the heart of the square. Terrific Mark Blakey. Held it. And it has been paid. Now goes on.
And looks to give the hand pass in support. Laidley. Laidley looks and then delivers down towards left half forward. Taken by Ellis. Danilchenko was good though. He got right back into the contest. Forced the kick to fall free for Fairley. Tackled by Smith. Front on was a beauty. Great tackle by Rowan Smith. And he's rewarded with the free kick on centre wing. Locked him up completely. And the kick finishes with Darcy. Handball, Johnson has to stand there. Can he shrug the tackle? He can. He goes in towards full forward. Well done by Brad Johnson. His kick has been marked by Watts.
Isn't it different? Smith was it, I think, held the tackle, got the free kick, and in fact, the other tackle was missed downfield by Roberts, and the Footscray player got clear. It's critical skill tackling to hold the tackles rather than have them broke them.
So Jason Watts, he's already kicked one. A full forward who should convert, and he does so. Good goal by Watts.
You'll talk to me, hun. No.
6-3 to 6-12. Tightening up again, 9 points. McKernan. He's going to get a free kick against Darcy. Gives it off to Shoal. Shoal kicks the ball towards centre half forward. Carey at the back. Oh, good mark by Wirra. Unopposed. Just some indecision by Swass when Carey missed it. Ellis has kicked wide to Chris Grant. Takes it at half back. 39 to 48. North in front. Top of the table. Rowan Smith's got it. Was going to come in board, now called to play on. Gets pretty good distance off not much of a run-up. Well done Fairley, but straight to Darcy. Normally a good kick. And that's a beauty, giving Watts some hope. He must attack hard here because North can rebound. He holds up Roberts, that's okay. Watts in there with West, I should say, going to ground with Archer over the top. And a bounce coming up with... Hello, yeah. 6-3 to 6-12.
North Melbourne have the advantage. Not a big one. So Footscray very much in this contest. Roberts can't get it away. Dimatina, a real struggle there to try and clear that pack of about 7 or 8 players just forward of the centre in Footscray's attacking half. The Bulldogs 6-3, North Melbourne 6-12. Tony Liberatore, Scott West in the background, Anthony Stevens. And the umpire will bounce. Once again, a big pack of players. Darcy gets his right fist to it. Well done, Colin. Ramiro grabbed. The tackle was good. It spills for Curley. Curley still a chance. Handball, Ramiro. Did he bounce up? Another poor kick. The ball to the goal front. Kick it off the ground, Ilya. Oh dear, they had 2 chances, but Mickey Martin stood up grandly for North Melbourne. Got it to Blakey. Blakey's kick. Away go North Melbourne now. The rebound may answer in their favour. Roberts' kick to centre half forward. No mark. Ellis leaves it. Rowan Smith gets past very, very skillfully and then kicks to a loose player in the middle of the ground. It's Colin. He can set it up. He's going to look for the hand pass. No, he's not. He's going to bomb away to the square. A chance for Watts in front of Archer. Watts has still got a chance. Gets the hand pass back. A little bit too far for Curley. Gathered by Watts was good. Hand pass was slick work. Krediuk. Can he kick a goal? He can't. He kicks it behind for the Bulldogs. A long way down the ground is Steve Krediuk. Footscray trail by 8 points as David King prepares to kick it back in for the Kangaroos. Some impressive stats. Johnson's had 13 kicks, Darcy 10, Wallace 12, Dimatina 14. Here's a chance for Hargraves. A left foot snap, only as far as King, and he'll kick North Melbourne back outside 50 metres.
Take there by Smith. Inboard to Liberatore. Too far out to score. Bombs away. Awkward looking kick. Curley goes early. Blakey, good mark. Should probably have spoiled at the back then, the Footscray forward. He was out of position in the end. Blakey, a fine mark. He's second in this term. Now Schwass coming off. And Crocker coming on for North Melbourne. Blakey, McKernan the target. Smith at the back having a pretty good third term. Kick to half forward. Johnson read it well. Back inboard. Smith a long kick. Kicks from 55. Grigic in the box seat. Well done, Martin. Punches it away. Oh, Grigic over the top. Euro 96 starts tomorrow. The kick to handball by Rocco Kay. Gets it away to Laidley. To Roberts. Running away onto his left. To centre half forward. Crocker's just come on the ground. Attacked it strongly. Footscray player unable to get. Scholl did a good job. West. It gets to Wirra after the handball by Wallace. Dimatina keeps it in. Colonyuk. Now he can set it up with a little chip. Oh, that one might be the better option. It's a good one. To Hargraves. 70 metres from goal. Keeps it down low in the pocket. Looking for Watts. It's going to run out. Archer with him. Boundary throw in right forward pocket. 6-4, 6-12.
The Footscray half-back line's been very good. We know North go to that part of the ground, but Grant and Krediuk and Wallace, players of that ilk, have made sure that the North tall forwards haven't been able to mark the ball in that centre corridor around that centre half-forward area.
Talking about statistics, Roberts with 10 kicks and 5 hand passes for North Melbourne. David King has had 10 kicks for the Kangaroos. Anthony Stevens 9 and 4.
Roberts is in that role that he plays so often. McKernan does the centre bounces, then pushes into half forward, and Roberts goes up and becomes the around-the-ground ruckman.
Rock 9 and 5 is another leading possession gatherer for North Melbourne at this stage of the game. Grigic, Roberts, Martin gets his right fist to it. Ball spills back towards Dimatina. He's beaten for it by Anthony Stevens. A tigerish attempt to get the ball, and he's been interfered with. Now, why does one player get the kick down the ground, yet in the earlier on, I think it was the second quarter, where it was taken back? We'll question that later as Roberts goes through the middle of the ground for North Melbourne. He's had 2 bounces, and he kicks beautifully to the front of the goals, up high. The presence of Corey McKernan, tall man and a terrific mark in front of the pack. Very hard to get over the top of a player of his stature.
And really it's worked for them so well again. Roberts has got plenty of ball, given North Melbourne plenty of run around the midfield, and when Carey floats into the ball like this...
Gee, it's a disappointing result, isn't it? just never ever looked like threatening the goals. Dennis Pagan just questioning, bit of a shake of the head. Another behind on the scoreboard for the Kangaroos. That's their 13th. They still lead, but it is not the margin that was quite evident in their match earlier in the season. So Footscray can take heart, and I think they'd like to take away the 4 points. Brad Wirra to bring it back in.
Can kick the ball a fair way, and does on this occasion. Darcy's target. Punch forward by Carey. Scott's handball to Rock. Rock coming across to Roberts. Good kick. He's at 52 metres though. It might be a couple of metres too far out to goal. Ken Thumper a fair way. He's winding himself up. Going now. Not quite going to make it. Carey couldn't quite get a run at it and punch through from behind. So as Lee said, they've been pretty effective, the Footscray defence. It's Alan Joyce. Not giving too much away there. 6-14 to 6-4, but the Footscray defence has been effective in holding the high-flying North Melbourne forwards. We saw McKernan miss one a moment ago. A golden opportunity. Punches forward there, McKernan. Handball by Wirra. Good take by Grant. That's high skills. Kicks to Hargraves. Should have marked. Must win the ball now. Does.
Well done by Daniel Hargraves, and he gets it and kicks it in towards half forward. No one home. Terrific interception and determination there by Glenn Archer. He's going to get run down, but he spins away, then kicks into his own man. The ball spills now, and going to ground is fair. He's robbed of it by Liberatore. That hand pass was ineffective. Taken by King. King runs with the football. Then handballs over the top. Simpson. Awkward bounce, but he's able to gather right in the middle of the ground. Nearly run down. He's kicked to half forward. Nearly the mark taken by Bell. He handballs it away from himself. In goes Wirra. In goes Darcy. Taken by Anderson. Gets it to Rock. Rock with some space. Gets his right foot to it. Kicks to the goal line. It's touched right on the line. Desperate stuff on the goal line by the Footscray defender Danny Southern. And another behind on the scoreboard for North Melbourne when it looked as though it was a goal. Wirra kicks it in short. Ellis takes the mark and then kicks it outside 50. 3 on 2, North Melbourne's favour. Roberts marks in front of Dimatina. Carey with just 7 kicks and 1 handball. Stevens has it, gets it back to Carey. Carey from outside 50. A big, long, high kick to the goal square. Puts the pressure right on the Footscray defence. Crediuk goes wide, gets it to Ramiro. Boos from the North Melbourne supporters. Grant's on the end of the handball. He can have 2 bounces. He may have a third. No, he doesn't. He goes with the left foot to half forward. It's a good mark, an excellent mark in the finish taken by Curley in front of Laidley.
Not a lot of stats. Laidley doing the job on him. Curley trying to get around. Kicks to Hargraves. He's got it. He's been quite potent up forward. Nice kick to Dimatina. Now Watts to go now. Dimatina to kick it to him. He's got him. It's a good lead. He charged out Watts and took a beauty in the end against one of the best opponents in the game in Archer.
It's been something as a find of a forward this year. He's played most of his football up in the back line, but he does lead. That medium-sized forward who can lead hard for the ball against opponents who don't necessarily play against a leading forward, although Archer's had plenty of experience in that role, but hasn't done a lot tonight, but going for his 3rd goal from limited opportunities.
Big kick too, Lee. Goal here really tightens it, doesn't it? Because North have had the chance to kick right away, and they haven't done it, and this will give Footscray tremendous heart. His kick looks good. He's got it.
Determination written all over his face, equally by Darcy. Maybe Luke Darcy affected by that ankle injury. Not quite as much spring as in the first half. Rock nearly threw that out. Roberts quickly onto his right foot. He's kicked towards the full forward area. Pressure again on the Footscray defence. Grant shows desperation. That could have been deemed as a throw. Crediuk, a handball right across the full back line. Really wasn't all that successful. Scores are behind for the opposition.
We've also mentioned it, well, I like that North have kicked 16 points, but I think plenty of them have been rushed and knocked through. Many of them, I would think. 5, according to Robbo.
Kick in by Wirra. Ends with Southern. Geez, a mean-looking customer, Danny Southern, isn't he? But that kick is smothered off the boot by Stuart Anderson. And where that design came from, it wasn't in the textbooks, that haircut.
Fancy it, Robbo?
Not really, Bruce.
Grant having a good third quarter, pushes to Ramiro, who's just kept going, hasn't had a lot of stats, but has been determined. Koliniuk, well done. King. Now fairly accurate. Ricochets away from Scott for the moment. Tries to draw the man. King normally breaks these tackles. He does on Dimitine and then punches forward. Crocker timed it beautifully. Just used his hands for balance on his opponent and held his ground on Krediuk and took the mark. Now he missed one in the opening term that looked a gimme for him. He's kicked a couple of points tonight, normally accurate. North need a goal here. They're a goal in front, but they've wasted a few. Kicks from about 48 metres. Looks good. He's got it. Crocker gets his first. North again edge away by a couple of goals now. 7-16 to 7-4.
Well, it is just an important stage of the game. I mean, it's one principle I've always believed in: you don't get beaten by points, and I think that's really what the game's about tonight. They've had 12 more scoring shots. North all been behinds, and they're only a couple of goals ahead. Conceding behinds and making sure the opposition doesn't kick a goal, as Footscray have done on many occasions, is a good policy.
The bounce at the centre. McKernan still jumping high. Rock, attempted kick out of mid-air. That could have been deemed as kicking in danger. And the umpire sees now a 50-metre penalty. So it could change here in the fortunes of Footscray. A free kick against them for kicking in danger. A 50-metre penalty that may have been against Luke Darcy. He looks a little frustrated. Is McKernan getting the kick? No, Rock will get it by the look of it, because Anthony Rock was just about to take possession of the ball and a foot came flailing at it. So the umpire deems that as in danger, and now Rock, with the 50-metre penalty, will shoot from only 35 metres out directly in front, and he misses to the right, and the Footscray fans say fair enough. The North Melbourne fans shake their head in disbelief. A kick in. Krediuk looks to play on, and then does to Ramiro.
In trouble, gone. Holding it. North fans are like this. Anderson to take it. Kicks inside the 50. Avoided the first tackle, and that's the interpretation that has come in this season. Anderson's kicked to full forward. McKernan was there. Capuano back on the ground, pushes back, but out of play. And a boundary throw in. 7 goals, 17 to 7-4. Matthew Capuano, quite a bit on the interchange tonight. He's come back after a serious knee injury this season. And come back pretty well. Rock. Freeborn couldn't quite take it. Krediuk bounds away, kicks the ball to centre wing. Smith worked his man under it. Martin attacks it strongly, beautifully. In fact, Mickey, well played to Roberts, to Stevens. Stevens kicks towards Danilchenko, gets him. It's probably the best kick in the North Melbourne team, this fellow.
He certainly is tonight, Bruce.
He was too against, who did we see him against? Footscray, Fitzroy 2 weeks ago, where he kicked magnificently.
He got the kicking yips tonight, North Melbourne, but Danilchenko has found the way through a couple of times, so he's got his confidence up.
Kicks from about 48 metres. Yeah, straight through. And kick away now, North. That's the big margin of the match so far. 8-17 to 7-4. impressive. He may add another dimension to this team, Lee, come end of year.
Well, tonight he only had 4 kicks, but he's kicked 4 goals with those kicks, and goals win the games, and that's what North have had trouble getting on the scoreboard. They've had plenty of shots, but Danilchenko has been the one who's been able to kick accurately and put that scoreboard pressure back onto Footscray.
Well, very important now for Footscray to get the next goal. Dimartina gets the hand pass to West. West kicks over his right shoulder, gets to the 50-metre line, punched away though, and strong defensive work again there by Martin. Now Freeborn gets it to King. King goes further wide, only a little too far there for John Blakey. And he's quite happy to give the football over to the boundary umpire, and there will be a throw-in. Mark Roberts, 14 kicks and 6 handballs, the leading possession gatherer. Down goes West from the King tackle. The ball kicked forward. Schwass, that was a good mark in front of Wirra. Just edging his way back into this AFL football. Different pressure, just slowly but surely. Kick falls with Liberatore. Liberatore goes in towards centre half back. Krediuk looks to move it quickly, goes in the Hargraves direction, and he doesn't let him down. He takes a good mark, and he's brought to the ground by Fairley. 50-metre penalty. Have another look there at exactly what happened.
Gee, Libba coming off the ground, which is a bit of a surprise, unless he's injured, Robbo.
He's taken 9 marks, Hargraves, mainly on the move, because he's got the speed against Fairley but not the size, and I think that's a good decision. So often players get there slightly late to spoil the mark and basically tackle the player who's marked the ball to impede them and stop them playing on, and I think really a lot of 50-metre penalties are warranted that aren't paid.
Kicked a big goal in the second quarter. Just having a look in the background at Ramiro splashing Mark Roberts with a bit of water there. Put a little playmanship between them, and that's a good kick by Hargraves, but it's just offline. Through for 1 behind. 1 goal, 1 to Daniel Hargraves. So it's Footscray's turn to be just a little inaccurate. The kick-in has been marked by Martin.
Libba having a rest, we've been told, from Dipper, so not injured. Martin's kick into the centre to Laidley, and the siren sounds. So North edging away in that term. Footscray hanging on. They kicked 2-2, and North added 3 goals, 6. So again, an imbalance in the scoring shots, Lee, and at 8-17 to 7-5, it's a handy break for North at 3/4 time. 7-5 Footscray, North Melbourne, 8-17 at 3/4 time.
Today's match is part of the AFL Coca-Cola Centenary Season.
And that's the winner of our Mitre 10 competition tonight. Yuda Man, Wayne Carey, number 18. 10 out of 10, so the Mitre 10 winner. Now, the Interfooty show that's a beauty on Friday afternoons, Melbourne, Adelaide, Perth. Saturday morning, Sydney and Brisbane. This week features Billy Brownless talking about being a super dad in Wayne's world. Susie O'Neill talks about her great career. And Corey McKernan plays a round of golf with a lucky young fellow called Daniel Coulon. Well, we see Alan Joyce running off the ground without that jacket on, Dipper. I reckon he's a hard nut, don't you?
Oh, is he?
Have a look at you.
It is absolutely freezing down here. Honestly, it is absolutely freezing down here. The crowd should be commended for staying here this game, but because it is a great game and a lot of spirit still in the Footscray camp. They still believe they can win this game. They're only 3 goals down, and Dennis Pagan made a few moves on his ball, so we'll check those out in a moment. I'm still going for North Melbourne, but geez, I tell you what, you boys have got it easy.
Dipper, that'll get on the talking footy play up, no doubt about that. There's Rodney Eade having a look, the Sydney coach against Fitzroy tomorrow. So we start the final term. McKernan getting ready to go. Had a terrific third term in the centre square, 8-17 to 7-5. Darcy runs hard. McKernan taps it down. Dimartina. Scott West, quick kick out of the centre. 2 centre half forward. Getting to the front spot was Kellett, attacking now Kolonyuk. His handball has been pretty good tonight. That one made it hard for Wallace. Gets back. Good handball, though, over the top by Quill to Kolonyuk. Kolonyuk to the pocket. Hargraves trapped it. Can't quite give it to Watts. Johnson It's out of play. Boundary throw-in. First goal, imperative for Footscray. Must get it to have a chance. You just can't see them kicking 6 or 7 in the last quarter. So they've got to get the first to stay in touch. If North get away to lead by 4, then they're going to be in dire straits. Roberts, who's been excellent. Now, the boundary umpire and the field umpire conferring.
Yeah, what's his name? Hargraves, who had the football, put it on his boot and it went over the line. Brad Johnson collected it. I think most people thought it may have been out of bounds. Now, Darren Goldsmith, the boundary umpire went to the goal umpire first to make sure that he saw what happened. And obviously it's a free kick out of bounds on the full against Daniel Hargraves. Martin kicks it back outside the defensive 50-metre area. Nearly a mark taken by Wirra. And eventually it's over for a boundary throw-in. But out of the danger zone, you'll have another look now here at just the left foot there of Daniel Hargraves getting onto the football. Johnson collecting it, but it was out on the full against the Bulldogs. Curley's kick towards full forward, and the mark is taken back there by Ian Fairley. He's a dogged defender. He's had a terrific battle with Daniel Hargraves across that half forward, half back line respectively. Martin's strength. Oh, powerhouse Mickey Martin. Just goes bang to centre half forward. The ball rebounds out towards the wing. Awkward bounce for Simpson. His kick towards full forward. Picked off by Grant. Little kick is okay. Ellis is there for Footscray. He can kick it to the middle of the ground. He goes for the handball over the top. Darcy finds some space. Kicks with left foot. I think that's a bit of an indication as to the fact that Luke Darcy's still suffering from an ankle injury. Romero's handball over the top. Quill's in the middle of the ground. What can he make of this? He gets past his opponent, assesses the situation, kicks into the full forward area, taken by Hargraves, tackle, ball for Johnson. Johnson's kick along the line, gathered by Watts, was very good. Handball not so good. Freeborn gets it back to Laidley, and North Melbourne out of trouble. Laidley's kick is okay. He finds Rock, in turn to Stevens. Stevens to the half forward line. Quickly it goes back to the other end of the ground. But Luke Darcy, he has shown a lot of character. Injured earlier in the second term. The right ankle looked as though it was all sorts of strife for Luke Darcy, but he's come back onto the ground and doing a grand job for the Bulldogs. Kolonyuk just throws his left foot at it. Running onto it is Dimatina, spins out of trouble. Brilliant football, Dimatina. Curley, can he capitalise and kick a goal? Not quite, just off to the right. And a sigh of relief from the North Melbourne fans are behind to Footscray.
7-7 to 8-17. Terrific spin by Dimatina. He's had a lot of possessions tonight, 16 kicks and 7 handballs. In short, from King to Roberts, high in North's best player list, to Fairley. Out wide, McKernan and Darcy. What a great duel. Well played, McKernan, to push forward. Wallace will run it to the boundary line and over. McKernan helping him on his way.
It's interesting, Bruce, when Mark Roberts goes up the ground, Footscray are choosing to sort of leave an extra man in their defence. I'm not sure whether that tactic is helping or hindering their cause.
Libber on the bench. We saw a moment ago Stevens running forward, kicking under some pressure, but actually doing very well to keep the ball in play on the bounce and then force a boundary throw in.
Any theories on why Libber would be on the bench, Lee?
Well, no. He was
hard,
obviously fading a little bit in the third quarter, but if he's perfectly uninjured, one would think he maybe would be best suited to be out there.
At the back, Stevens, Scott to kick the goal, and does. Robert Scott gets a real typical Rovers goal. And North are kicking away now. They've got a handy break, 9-17 to 7-6.
Well, it's certainly been hard work, and there's not a lot of goals that are kicked from those boundary throw-in situations. In fact, the boundary umpire's thrown the ball fairly central. It was almost at the front of the North Melbourne goal square, so not sure whether that was so good, but certainly the advantage went initially to North, and then Scott's kicked the goal.
Scott, with just 6 kicks and 5 hand passes, gets his first goal, and North Melbourne's 9th, and they have that bit of breathing space now which could see them go on and win this match. It's been a tight struggle for most of the evening. It was 1-1 to 3 points at quarter time. Footscray leading, 5-11 to 5-3 at half time. North Melbourne leading, 8-17 to 7-5 at three-quarter time. North Melbourne leading. The football with Danilchenko, handball over the top. Scott to get another possession, runs up to 50 metres, kicks to the goal front. Schwass punched away. Steve Wallace gets it to Krediuk. Krediuk's kick has been smothered off the boot. Brilliant football. Possessions that sometimes don't tally as far as the public is concerned, but certainly a complimentary one as far as the team is concerned.
Incidentally, I just mentioned before that boundary throw. In fact, the boundary umpire is supposed to throw the ball back towards the absolute centre circle, if my understanding is correct.
Correct. Anderson's hand pass over the top to the goal square. Schwass, could he be penalised for that? Maybe, for having plenty of time before the hand pass went away. And now Footscray get clear back towards the centre of the ground. This is Stevens. Brad Johnson. This is an important possession. Freeborn back to Stevens. Little throw. And thank goodness for that other umpire in a terrific position to make that decision. Dimitina's kick has been marked by Johnson. Johnson is on centre wing. He goes short. Kolonyuk can't break away. Still Footscray. Can't get any flow.
In short to Dimitina, but brought the ball in towards the centre. Quill, good kick to Watts. To Curley, I should say. So that's an impressive build-up by Footscray. They used the ball with some imagination. And Todd Curley to kick from about 45 metres out, directly in front. There's the kick off the boot. It's a good one. He's got it. Just keeps them in the lead, doesn't it, that goal? 8-6, 9-17.
Yes, they're within 3 scoring shots, so the game's still there to be won if they can find a bit of a... So just having trouble putting together, consecutive goals, Footscray, but a good pass by Quill on the left side, and good kick for goal by Curley. Played a fair bit of football in Western Australia as full forward. Is a good, accurate kick for goal.
Footscray will go forward again. Quill to Dimitina. Marking contest at half forward. It's taken away by King. Just runs those precious few metres, doesn't he, to make it penetrating at half forward. Carey into Danilchenko. Knocked away by Southern. Goes after the foot. He's tackled. He's just locked up completely. Now the hand pass goes back to, was it Anderson, was it? Snapshot for goal. It's a goal. Kicked by Freeborn. Freeborn kicks his first goal. North Melbourne seem to have the answers. 10-17 to 8-6.
I might see on this replay, I was interested to see how Schwass got the ball to Freeborn after this. The ball goes towards the boundary line. Well, if that was a hand pass, it was a very quick one.
North away again. Freeborn with his first goal. They, as Robbo said, seem to have all the answers. Darcy, Quill out of the centre. Good mark fairly in front of Hargraves. King comes away like a charging ball. Danilchenko couldn't quite hold it. Ellis under pressure, under real pressure. Wirra quickly onto the boot. Back towards the centre of the ground. A bouncing ball here. Wallace to try and force forward. Does to Quill. Backtracks quite cleverly. Handball inside, okay. Gets it to West, to Wallace. Will have to kick rather quickly. He does towards the pocket. Watts being held up. And he'll get it, Curley, I should say, again for the second time, and will get a free kick. In a wrestling match there with Laidley, one of the opponents. And he's come off the worst for wear here, Dean Laidley.
It was his teammate just going back with the flight of the ball. It's crashed into him and Todd Curley. You can see here Glenn Archer.
Yeah. So Curley with the chance to kick Footscray back within some sort of touch as he did a couple of minutes ago. The official attendance tonight, 22,416. He is a good kick for goal. It looks good. So So 2 important kicks to Todd Curley. And Footscray hang in. They're not doing quite enough. They've got to kick another 3 to win. It's a difficult assignment. And there's the replay of the free kick to Curley.
It's been a courageous performance. They've been like that nagging cough tonight. Footscray just won't go away. Every time North look like they're about to pull clear, Footscray are just kicking that extra goal just to put themselves in. Played with great spirit all night.
So the umpire to restart play. 17 points is the margin. It favours McKernan. He's skillfully able to get the ball away, but only as far as Krediuk, who is marked from behind Anderson. Krediuk at centre-half back. Footscray affecting a change. Kellett to come off and Liberatore back into the fray. The kick to half-forward, nearly taken by Hargraves. He's not able to break clear, but he goes after it again. Quill gets it out. West, that was very productive. Liberatore short, but that's too high, Tony. Put him under a bit of pressure, but Colin was able to rise to the occasion and mark 50 metres from goal. Could be too far out. We know Steve Kolonyuk, brilliant kick of a football on the run. He's kicked to a vacant half-forward area. It bounces favourably for Curley. Archer's got him, down he goes. Now Blakey along the boundary line. It's not a bad kick by John Blakey. Natural right foot kick, but he does it well with his left and forces a boundary throw in right half-forward for the Bulldogs. It's about 80 metres around from Footscray's goal. They trail 9-6 to 10-17. The margin is 17 points in favour of the Kangaroos. And with 12 minutes left, it's going to be a big task for Footscray to pinch this game. Liberatore in underneath. Scott West, an important little touch. Dimatina, go in and kick a goal from here. This will bring the house down. Dimatina's goal to the line is knocked over for a rush behind to Footscray. He's had plenty of touches, Paul Dimatina, 19 kicks and 8 hand passes. And it's 16 points the margin for the Kangaroos.
Lately to Archer. Archer comes away and kicks to centre wing. Carey, Grant's had a fabulous match. Wallace's kick at the toe straps of Dimatina. Back to Libba. Back to Krediuk. Ducks and weaves and sidesteps and then goes high. But North Melbourne everywhere. A poor result. Martin takes the mark and pushes it away to King, to Stevens. Reasonably quiet since half-time. Carey and Grant. Grant winning the duel now. Ellis, Dimatina, back to Grant to rebound with a bounce and then try to direct and does beautifully to Hargraves. Terrific vision, Grant. Kolonyuk short, outside, decides not to. Probably the right way to go. He kicks the ball a lot longer than Steve and there would have been no advantage at all. Could he go back and bang it through? If he does, this game is very much alive. A big one here. Carey just having been spoken to by the umpire. Hargraves comes in, gives it all he's got, it's there! You just had the feeling then, didn't you, Robbo?
It was a good kick.
That he's going to dob it. 10-7, 10-17.
Just under 11 minutes left, so still the game in the balance. It's been a grand performance by the Bulldogs, taking it up to North Melbourne, who are presently the ladder leaders. And Footscray with just 2 wins and a draw so far in season 96. And we must recall their first meeting this year, which was a big win to the Kangaroos. They've got the ball into their forward pocket area, North Melbourne. But a throw-in will take place about 35, 40 metres around from their goal. Alan Joyce, well, if you're the coach, only a win will make you happy. Although his mighty little Bulldogs have been terrific tonight. Taken by Carey, he's dispossessed. Liberatore, Carey looking for the free kick against Alice. Umpire having nothing to do with that. Will come in and bounce about 35 to 40 metres from the North Melbourne goal.
Really, in this latter part, probably the last couple of quarters, Grant has absolutely cut Carey out of the game completely.
Carey just 9 kicks, 1 handball and 1 goal. Fourth quarter handballs. Dimatina. Grant left it behind. Very important. Libber, terrific, because Rock was away. The smother was so important in that little passage of play, and it's locked up 50 metres from the North Melbourne goal, and the Kangaroos lead by 10 points, 10-17 to 10-7, and another fantastic effort by Tony Liberatore.
Darcy and McKernan, again a hard ball to be won. West, who's had a reasonable last quarter, pushes out wide to Wirra. Boundary throw in. Sounds ridiculously, and North will probably get the next goal, but I reckon for the first time tonight, Footscray, I feel like they've got a chance of winning.
Yeah, the momentum just the last 5 minutes. They come here with a mission, and it looked like failing, but they're not going to give it away without a real fight.
McKernan at the back, Ellis, Libber, Darcy, quick kick away to centre wing. Smith tried to push forward. Blakey to the boundary line, gets it, boundary throw in. You can just feel it tightening the whole match, can't you? North have appeared to be in control, even when they were behind on the scoreboard throughout the game. Yet Footscray now within a couple of kicks late in the match, and North finding it harder to score goals all of a sudden.
They keep changing their forward line around. They've finally got the match up. They want Wayne Schwass at full forward, and Romero is basically full back, and that's probably not the matchup Footscray would like, but they keep changing it so much North that eventually that wrong matchup will eventuate.
Here's Freeborn, kicking the ball back towards that direction. Carey and Grant. Good mark, Southern from the side. A very good take, and to kick it away from half-back.
Pretty much an underrated player, I think, Danny Southern, especially in this Footscray lineup. Hand pass to Wirra. Wirra goes wider still. Wallace, little kick is okay. Gee, they can take it all the way down the ground. Get back quickly, Steve, because no, the unmarked player is quickly marked down the ground. Crediute goes into the middle of the ground. Not a bad kick either. Taken by Rowan Smith. He runs away. Could have nearly run another couple of metres, which would have nearly put this right into the goal square. Away goes Martin. Strong again. Very, very strong. Presence very much evident there by Mickey Martin. Simpson's kick towards half forward. An important possession here, one way or the other. Grant, a wonderful gather. Very, very skillfully done. No one to kick to. He goes close to the line with the left foot, and it goes over for a boundary throw-in when giving it up was going to be all important. Brad Johnson nearly got to it, but it will be thrown in left half forward, not quite up to left half forward for the Footscray side. It's probably at least 2 kicks from their goal, and Robertson Ellis to do the ruck work. Good contest. Simpson over the top. The umpire has picked a free kick, and it's going to North Melbourne. It'll be taken by Adam Simpson. Quickly onto his left foot. Kicks in towards half forward. McKernan over the top. Freeborn gathers. Little hand pass good. Anderson. Left foot kick to half forward. Well done there by Grant. Just outpointed Carey. Left foot kick. Wallace is on the end of it. Wallace to half forward. That's good by Steve Wallace. Brad Johnson is marked. 80 metres from Footscray's goal. Move it quickly. Time is on the wing. 7 minutes left. Footscray trail by 10 points. 10-7 to 10-17. Johnson's kick has been marked by West. West goes straight towards the goal face. Archer gets back and marks from behind Curley. And Todd Curley, I'm a little bit with you. The kick really wasn't to your favour. Simpson receives and then kicks along the half-back line. Well played by Anthony Stevens. Handball away. Simpson again. Just gets his kick away. Down towards the wing. Danilchenko and Southern. Danilchenko gets his kick away. Punched away from Carey. Some terrific football shown by both sides. Crediute goes across the half-forward line, and that's another critical error because the mark has been taken by Scholl. Scholl goes from 55 metres to the goal line. Carey up over the top, couldn't quite take the mark. And Wayne Carey just a little disappointed there. He nearly had this one.
He dropped Grant off. Grant was 50 metres back on that rebound. He charged hard to that contest, Carey, and quite often he'll take those, but he's been down tonight. Grant's done a terrific job.
Anderson to get through, back to Crediute, who made the bad error a moment ago. That's better to Wirra. Actually, Lee, they had the odds in their favour. They had Swash and Carey versus Ramiro.
They did.
And couldn't get the goal out of it. It could be vital. Southern over the top. Goes to West. West goes inboard. Libba has to wait a while. Gets it back. They can't make an error here. To Wirra. They're under pressure. To Dimartina. Now away. Chips okay. Ramiro's gone. Holding the ball. Absolutely stunned. North go forward and Danilchenko will mark it. And he will kick a goal. There is nothing sure. He doesn't miss.
Well, yes, that's when you're unlucky, Ramiro. I mean, he's trying to play the ball on. There were a couple of goals down. They have to get the ball forward and didn't realise there was a North Melbourne player sweating on him who had good discipline not to ride him into the ground, to lay the tackle, and had to be holding the ball. And, of course, then all of the Footscray defenders had left their opponents to make it downfield, and now a shot at goal results.
This to seal it from about 35 metres. Five goals to Danilchenko from 6 kicks. 11-17 to 10-7.
Yes, well, I think I had mentioned earlier in the game, the one place in the ground that you can't afford turnovers is when you bring the ball from outside back into the centre corridor and the opposition gains possession, because it's the whole field, the whole forward line is open to them. And once North had drawn that free kick, well, really it was a raffle which North player marked the ball.
Gee, I wondered why Danny Southern was going crook verbally at the players down the ground, but he was very disappointed because it was his direct opponent that kicked the goal there for North Melbourne, which probably ended Footscray's chances of winning this game. Anthony Stevens still fighting very hard for his team. Gets the handball across into the path of King. King's kick is good. Centre half forward, great effort. The umpire's in strife here. He's been down.
Stuart Anderson ran into him, and the umpires aren't built for physical contact, particularly when they don't see the player coming and they ran into him. Oh no, I thought it was Stuart Anderson, but it was in fact Footscray.
Darren Goldsmith got in there and vehemently spoke on behalf of his fellow umpire. McKernan shoots for goal, and you would think it's a goal. It is. McKernan kicks his first goal, and Darren Goldsmith explaining to the Footscray players.
Well, of course, they're aggrieved that Chris Grant couldn't affect the spoil because the umpire basically he ran into him. But that's the luck of the game, which hasn't really gone Footscray's way. They've done everything to work hard to keep themselves in the game, but those little bits of luck, turnovers at wrong spots, those things haven't quite gone with them, and that was another example.
McKernan and Darcy McKernan with his first goal. Libba down low, well done. Dimartina, another possession. Wide to half forward. Watts could take in front of Martin. He's almost a centre wing, so he's a long way away from goal. 12-17 to 10-7. Watts centres the ball. Hargraves the target. Work towards the front. Attack on it by Quill, looking for a free kick, not getting it. Then actually should have left it for West. Easy to say from here. Was doing his best effort, and it's going to be a bounce down about 55 metres from goal.
You know, it's a wonder when there's 3 umpires on the ground with 36 players, there aren't more collisions like that, and I think they do a pretty good job to get out of the road on most occasions.
Ellis and Roberts. Free kick maybe to Ellis against Roberts, unhappy.
So obvious. You wonder why he's bluing.
Libba maybe suggesting 50 metres. So Ellis, fair way out. Haven't seen enough of him to know whether he can kick this ball this far. Kicks to the goal square. Hargraves to have a run. Comes off hands. It's a behind. 10-8, 12-17. A rush behind of Footscray. It's been good, Roberts. Gave that free kick away, but he's played a good match.
14 and 7 to Mark Roberts. Dean Laidley marks the kick in. He's in the right back pocket, nearly went across the face of goal, but then goes down the right half back line. Nearly taken by Hargraves. Kick clear by Simpson, but only as far as Ellis. He got back quickly, didn't he? His kick in towards the centre of the ground. It's punched away from Dimatina by Freeborn. Taken by Stevens. His kick to the half-forward line for North Melbourne. The gatherers by Schwass. He gives away a bit of ground, but the option not bad. Scholl gets his kick out into the left forward pocket. Carey, run down by Grant. Grant able to gather the football, then give the hand pass away. Steve Wallace, he's been a good member of that Footscray defence that certainly has done well, restricting North Melbourne to just 12 goals. And normally you would think if you can restrict the opposition to just 12 goals, you'd have to be half a chance of winning the game. But the Bulldogs, on the other hand, have only managed to kick 10 themselves. They've badly missed Richard Osborne, who left the ground early in the first half. Great leap provided there by Curley. Hand pass intercepted by King. King, well, intelligently gets the kick away out towards the wing and finds touch in front of Steve Crediuk. Frustratingly, no, what's happened here? There's a free kick. Has this maybe gone against Southern? It looks as though it's going back to Anderson. Southern, not happy. Anderson's kick. Well, Footscray boys have got a man up now, or the scoreboard could blow out on them. Danilchenko's kick is not all that brilliant. Ellis is there to chop it off. Handball over the top. Danny Southern caught. Back to Ellis. Well done. Got out of trouble there when it looked rather ominous for them. Quill's kick to the half-forward line. Good mark taken by Johnson. Slips Laidley and then runs away from the half-forward area. Kicks in towards full forward. Hargraves punched away. There must be a player on the ground. It's Curley. In goes Hargraves. You won't rob Mickey Martin of it. Still Mick Martin goes after the footy. Gee, you wouldn't want to see a clash between that fella there and what's his name, Danny Southern down the other end of the ground. It'd be an interesting one, wouldn't it? To get in a dark lane. Kolonyuk over the top. Liberatore just finds a little bit of space for himself. Kicks with his right foot, and it nearly went through. Hit the post in the finish. That kick from Tony Liberatore. It's his first score. And Footscray 10-9. They trail North Melbourne by 20 points. The Kangaroos are 12-17.
Archer to Blakey. So North will maintain its unbeaten record at the MCG this year. And in Melbourne, for that matter, 8 out of 8 will be great. Graham McKernan to Stevens. Can they finish with one more goal to full forward? Chris Grant has played a fantastic last quarter. He's done some brilliant things. In fact, his last half has been outstanding in total. Terrific effort. Gets it to Quill. Quill kicks to centre wing to Crediuk. Been some good signs for Footscray tonight. They're going to lose the match, but they've done all right. As Robbo said, Osborne's serious injury didn't help. And they have hung in. And the siren sounds. There can be only one winner, and it's North Melbourne. 12-17 to 10-9.